Okay, I'm David. I'm a member of technical staff at Anthropic. I'm also one of the co-creators of the Model Context Protocol, which you might have heard of. Um, I'll show you a bunch of stuff. I'm not sure if it's actually 50 minutes because I didn't time it. We shall see. But because it's a protocol, there's also like a lot of slides. And before I go and talk a little bit about give you a demo, I just want to tell you why did we even build it in the first place, or why my frustrations with Claude Desktop led to creation of the Model Context Protocol. And this is really about one of the things when I started at Anthropic a year ago is that I found myself very quickly copy and pasting stuff into Claude and out of Claude. And I found that actually quite frustrating because I'm usually not paid to copy shit back and forth, but actually to get work done. But at the same time, obviously these applications have a lot of really, really cool things that they can do. Like Claude Desktop can do artifacts, which is really, really lovely as a feature that I really enjoyed. So I found myself constantly having to do this and working with it. Similarly, I use an editor, which unsurprisingly will be Z. And so also there, I had to copy things back and forth sometimes. It got really, really frustrating. And in many ways, for me, that felt as if these models are a little bit like this amazing brain that I have, but they're put into a jar of these applications that don't really let me talk to the outside world, except for a very, very narrow path. And that narrow path is usually on a desktop application, whatever the creator of the desktop application decides is a great first-party integrations to them. At Claude, that could be, for example, at the moment, Google Drive or GitHub. Competitors might have other integrations, but they really usually do not matter to the things that I deeply care about in my life on a constant basis. And if I go then and do coding, I get a coding integration with exactly the bits that I need for coding, but not really anything beyond that that I might care about, and particularly not about the weird things in coding that I do enjoy. Give you an example. I'm an enjoyer of very abstruse operating systems such as Nixos and others, and usually Kurtz and others do not love to interact with these type of systems necessarily because they don't fucking understand them. And so the one way to get out of this is by building my own custom thing, which a lot of people do. And you see over and over these clones of chat applications that to build the specific workflow that I care about. But then the problem is I'm going to build a chat application instead of actually worrying about the things that I really want to worry about. And I'm building instead yet another shitty clone of a chat applications that someone else professionally is being paid to do and does way, way better. So this is all not great. Why can I not just instead take the little bits that I care about and actually plug them into some of these applications? And that is where the Model Context Protocol comes in. And I give you a little bit of an example that I literally had last Saturday. Because I love playing video games to in the evening to stay in touch with some of my friends in Germany, where I'm originally from. But there's a little problem that my friends love other games that I like, and we often try to find games that we want to play together. And so I was wondering, why can I not take this amazing brain that I have? Why can I not take Claude and just have Claude tell me which game we should play? But the problem with that is Claude knows nothing about my world. It does not know the games I own. It doesn't own the things I care about. For the most part, it doesn't even know how to search the web, right? But I know, as a software engineer, how to get access to all of these things. How can I take this and put it together and give it to Claude? And it turns out with MCP, and I hope this video stuff works. No! It used to work. Let me quickly check why the fuck the video does not work. Why does it work here? Okay, well, we shall look at here, and you can see my speaker notes, because I'm too dumb for Google. I need Claude to help me. No, this would be embarrassing if it doesn't work. Give me a second. I tested this, I swear. Awkward. Man, I fucking tested this. It says can't play for some reason. Okay, that's great. Oh, I know the reason. Can I get Wi-Fi? I should have fixed that before. Okay.
Oh, there we go.
Love the password. We shall try again. There we go. Now we have a button. Okay, back to writing a recommender for things. So what I can then do, I can actually put things together and give it to Claude Desktop using MCP. And now with MCP, I can have Claude Desktop connect to the things that matter to me, rate my Steam library, rate my friend's Steam library, from whom I nicked a Steam API key, and then actually search the web because I have a Kagi account and I use Kagi search here. And then actually even look up Metacritic and tell me what are some good games I should play. And it tells me to play Baldur's Gate 3 with my friend, which to be fair is a really damn good a recommendation that I would play with him. And so it's one of these bits where, you know, I have these amazing models and now I can connect it to the things that really matter to me personally. And the best part about all of this is because MCP, and I could talk a bit about how it's actually going to work, is independent from the actual application. It can just take this little toolbox I've built to make this recommendation engine for me, and I can plug it into any other application. And I can, for example, plug it into a thing called Goose, which is developed by Block, which in this case you see a CLI version because I love the CLI, and do exactly the same. And it uses the exact same set that I've created to have an agent access the world I care about. And of course, this is a silly example of a little bit of a thing that I cared about on Saturday, but there's way more things you can do with this. It will basically do exactly the same, by the way. But this is an example that you can do this in another application as well. Now, this is all fun and games, but obviously I also do work as an engineer. And so I do actually want to also have access to the things I care about as an engineer. And here, again, MCP helps me to connect the things I care about to and build a specialized workflow into the development workflow that I care about. And what you're going to see here is MCP again, a same set of MCP servers. So we're using, again, search servers. We're using an SQLite server here and a time server, and they all can connect. What I can do here now is I can get Cursor to look up all the AI demo days that have been done recently. Sadly, the search will not find the most recent, but it will find the first 3, and then create an SQLite database for me where it puts it in, right? And that's the workflow I care about. I now have Cursor talk to a local SQLite database on my laptop, and is able to create this for me because I cared and I wanted to give it this tool, okay? And it was like, it goes through like a bunch of flows, calls a bunch of tools, and it will go and go and go. Believe me, it will work. And the best part, and I note I will only mention this once, technically you can change the model away from Claude Sonnet. You shouldn't, but it can. It's technically model independent. Cool. So, how does it work? So now you have seen what you can do. Some of these demos. How can I create my own set of workflows and put them into all these cool applications, and put particularly the things I care about to the application that does what I want. Like that means like engineering work into Cursor. That means personal stuff into something like Claude Desktop. It works by having a client, which is usually an application such as Cursor, such as Claude Desktop and other bits, and a server that I can write. And these servers, and there I need to be careful because server, it turns out a lot of people think is something that is remote and not on my laptop. But in this case, a server is just a little application that can talk to the desktop application, like Claude Desktop, for example, that runs on my own laptop or can run remotely and gives the model one of three things: either a set of resources, such as like files or database records. It can give it a set of prompt tools, by prompts, templates, like pre-defined, basically strings for the most part. And then most importantly, and what you will see the vast majority of MCP servers do, is you can expose tools, which means the model can then go and decide, I want to, for example, create an SQLite database. I want to query David's Steam Dem library to understand that he's playing way too many games, and all of that kind of stuff. And this server exposes this to the client via the Model Context Protocol, and then the client is free to use it as much as it wants, and usually passes it on to the model. And the best part about this is it is very, 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 very easy to build these type of things. Like for example, Cloudflare has built an MCP server that allows you to interact with workers. And so the way this is going to work, for example, with a third party like Cloudflare, is you have a Cloud Desktop, it calls a bunch of tools from the MCP server, and then the MCP server calls that external resource, and that can be Cloudflare, that can be recently Supabase released MCP server, so you can just talk to your Supabase database. And actually about like 1,000 other integrations that people have built over the years, or like the last 3 months. And the best part about all of this is super damn easy to write. It looks complicated, it looks powerful in the moment, it looks a little bit like magic when you use it, because you're really extending Claude's ability and the model's ability with new tools that are built specifically for you and the workflows you care about. But writing these things, particularly the server side, is very easy. The client side, not so easy, but there are very few of them and they're built for you. But this is literally a useless but very working example fully of an MCP server that exposes a resource, that exposes a template, and it exposes a tool. And it's written in less than 50 lines of Python, and it works. So this is so easy to pick up. The Steam one that you've seen, I've written in Java, which I have not written in 12 years, in 30 minutes with the help of Claude, of course, because these models can usually one-shot these things for you. So if you want to connect a little bit of thing from your world into the model and extend the model's capability that way, it is very, very easy to do. And so how can you use it? You can use it with Claude Desktop, for example, Cursor, that has integration with Windsurf, Goose, tons and tons of clients that allow you to, where you can hook in one of these little servers that you can build or download, and then they can do additional things for you. And then lastly, you can also, if you have one of these, you can either build your own, or you can use one of 1,000 servers that currently exist. Some of the most popular are like, fetching from the internet, accessing SQLite databases, accessing GitHub, doing Git commands from you. I literally don't understand why the Git one is so popular, because I literally wrote it in 10 minutes and I have not tested it myself that much, but apparently people like it. You can use Obsidian, sequential thinking, Cloudflare, and tons of others. There's a very vibrant community around this. And again, if you miss a tool, it's literally 50 minutes and one Claude invocation away from you. You find us, it's an open source project with SDKs and TypeScript, Java, Kotlin, Python, and then there are a bunch of open source community-driven ones in Go and others. You can find us at modelcontextprotocol.io or on this GitHub site where we do all of our development in the open. Again, this is an open project. This is not proprietary. You can use this protocol. You can implement it as much as you want, and you can contribute upwards to it. Yeah, that's the MCP. Go use it. Extend the model skills with the things you care about. And you find me around here for the rest of the evening if you want to chat about MCP. Cheers.